It's time for the first FPVR list, and we're going with the Atlanta Hawks. Fast Eddie Johnson was one of the most popular Atlanta Hawks during the late 1970s and early 1980s. He made 2 All-Star teams and 2 All-Defensive teams. Unfortunately, his life would spiral terribly out of control, and it would lead to several arrests, including some for child molestation. Ugh. If you're uncomfortable with Eddie Johnson there, Paul Millsap will probably pass him the next year. At number 14, at 6'6", Drew began his pro career as a power forward. As a 20-year-old rookie out of Gardner-Webb University, Drew averaged 18.5 points and 10.7 rebounds per game in the 1974-75 season. The following year, he'd move to small forward and make his first of 2 All-Star teams. Drew was a powerfully built and explosive athlete with a dependable mid-range jump shot. He spent 8 seasons with the Hawks before being traded to the Utah Jazz in 1982 along with Freeman Williams for the draft rights to Dominique Wilkins. Unfortunately, Drew's personal life took a turn for the negative. A cocaine addiction saw him suspended in 1983, and ultimately he became the first player banned for life under the NBA's drug policy as a repeat offender in 1986. At 13, Mookie Blaylock was one of the best defensive point guards in the 1990s. His defensive prowess led to 6 all-defensive team selections and 1 all-star appearance. In another sad turn of events, Blaylock was convicted of vehicular homicide when a car wreck he was in led to the death of a mother of 5 children in 2014. He'll serve 3 years after a plea deal. At number 12, we have Kevin Willis. Despite having abnormally short arms and small hands for a 7-footer, Willis played 21 seasons in the NBA and 11 of them with the Atlanta Hawks. He made 1 All-Star team and 1 All-NBA team. In his best season, he averaged 18.3 points and 15.5 rebounds per game. That's not bad for a guy they call T-Rex. Number 11 is Zelmo Beatty, the first Hall of Famer on the list. It could be argued Beatty's best years were spent in the ABA with the Utah Stars, but he made a name for himself with the Hawks too. In 7 seasons in St. Louis and Atlanta, Beatty made 2 All-Star teams, averaging 17.4 points and 11.2 rebounds per game. At number 10, we have Dan Roundfield. In just 6 seasons in Atlanta, Roundfield made 3 All-Star teams and averaged 17.6 points and 10.6 rebounds. He made 5 All-Defensive teams and 1 All-NBA team. Sadly, Roundfield passed away in 2012 while vacationing with his wife off the coast of Aruba. Roundfield was known for his athleticism and defensive prowess close to the basket. At number 9, Al Horford. In 9 seasons with the Hawks, Horford made 4 All-Star appearances. He averaged 14.9 points and 8.9 rebounds per game. He helped lead the Hawks to the postseason in 8 of his 9 seasons and was named to the All-NBA 3rd team in the 2010-2011 season. Horford was a regular on the Highlight Factory. Were it not for injury, he'd sit higher on this list. Number 8 is Joe Johnson, aka ISO Joe. Johnson was the Hawks' best player during the late 2000s and early 2010s. He made the All-Star team in 6 of his 7 seasons with the Hawks, while averaging 20.9 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game. He was also voted the All-NBA 3rd team in 2010. A little more team success would have resulted in a much higher FPVR. Dikembe Mutombo sits number 7 despite only playing 5 seasons with the Atlanta Hawks organization. He won consecutive Defensive Player of the Year awards with the Hawks, played in 4 All-Star games, and he was named to the All-NBA team twice. In just 5 years, Mutombo made his mark in Atlanta. Imagine if he had played the bulk of his career with the Hawks. It seems as though he'd be a lock for the top 5. At number 6, we got Lenny Wilkens. Lenny spent 8 of his 16 seasons in the NBA with the Hawks. He made 4 All-Star appearances with the team and averaged 16.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 5.5 assists as a member of the organization. He was known primarily for his playmaking and defensive ability, as well as intensity and his basketball IQ. Most of his success as a team player would come with the Seattle Supersonics. As a matter of fact, you could argue his best statistical seasons came with the Sonics, but Wilkins still made his mark as a Hawk. Bill Bridges spent 10 seasons with the Hawks organization. During his tenure, the 6'6" power forward averaged 12.7 points and 12.7 rebounds per game. He played on 3 All-Star teams and was voted All-Defense in 2 different seasons. Bridges was a workhorse. From 1963 to 1971, he missed just 14 games. Lou Hudson at number 4. He played 11 seasons with the Hawks, and he may be the most underrated player in the team's history. He averaged 22 points and 4.9 rebounds per game with the organization. He was voted to 6 All-Star games and 1 All-NBA team. Still, he has not yet gained enshrinement into the Hall of Fame. Only Dominique Wilkins played more seasons with the Hawks. At number 3 is Cliff Hagan. He played 10 seasons with the St. Louis Hawks and helped lead the team to the 1958 NBA championship. Hagan made 5 All-Star teams and 2 All-NBA teams while averaging 18 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3 assists. The 6'4" small forward was one of the sport's first potent outside shooters, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1978. At number 2, Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight reel. Neek could score and he could definitely throw it down. He's the franchise's all-time leader in points. He played in 12 seasons, the most in Atlanta Hawks history, and he went to 9 All-Star games during that time. He was also voted to 7 All-NBA teams. So why is he just number 2? Well, he never reached the NBA Finals, and he never won a league MVP. Thus, he's second. But how nasty is that dunk? The number 1 player on the Atlanta Hawks or St. Louis Hawks FPVR list is Bob Pettit. He's one of the premier big men of the 1950s and the 60s. He led the Hawks to that NBA title that we mentioned in 1958. He appeared in 11 All-Star games, all consecutive. He won the Rookie of the Year, and he also won 2 league MVPs. He played all 11 of his seasons with the Hawks, and he's the team's all-time leader in rebounds. It may not have been as dynamic as Dominique Wilkins, but he absolutely was more valuable to the franchise over the long haul. Check out the formula for the FPVR in the description of this video, and stay tuned for the rest of the NBA organizations and their correlating NBA 2K17 All Legends teams.